Hello, and welcome to Football Country, a podcast about the curiosities and history of Brazilian football. I'm Isaac, and thank you for joining me. When you think of Neymar, what comes to mind? Skill, flair, trickery? He's known for dazzling fans with his sensational dribbles, creativity, and incredible goals. But before all the glitz and glamour of playing for Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, and Al Hilal, Neymar's rise to superstardom began in a modest port city in Brazil. Let's go back to where it all started, Santos Futebol Clube. Santos FC, a club rich with history and known for producing world-class talent, is where Neymar's journey as a professional began. From the moment he joined the club's youth academy, it was clear he was destined for greatness. Born in 1992, Neymar made his debut for Santos at just 17 years old in 2009, and quickly became the face of Brazilian football's next generation. Now let's talk about Neymar's early years at Santos. The club had a long-standing tradition of nurturing talent. Pelé himself had once graced the pitch for them, and Neymar was set to follow in those legendary footsteps. But Neymar wasn't just another talented player. He was a phenomenon. His unique style of play, combining dazzling footwork with a relentless drive, made him an instant sensation. At Santos, Neymar wasn't just a player. He was a symbol of the club's resurgence. His performances were nothing short of magical. Who could forget his unforgettable goal in the 2011 Copa Libertadores final? The match that would seal Santos' victory and send them back into the global spotlight after nearly 50 years. Neymar's goals were more than just a scoreboard tally. There were moments of artistry. In fact, Neymar's time at Santos was marked by trophies, the most significant being the Copa Libertadores in 2011. That win wasn't just a personal achievement for Neymar, but a turning point for the club. It signaled the return of Santos to its golden age of South American dominance. Neymar's performances earned him the 2011 South American Footballer of the Year title, and the world started to take notice. After 4 highly successful seasons, where Neymar scored 136 goals in 225 appearances, it was clear that his time at Santos was coming to an end. The world's biggest clubs had started knocking on the door, and in 2013, Neymar made the move to FC Barcelona. It was at Barcelona that Neymar would achieve superstar status. He was, in 2013, possibly the most coveted player in the world due to the sheer amount of talent he possessed. Barcelona splashed the cash to get him for their side, with a reported total transfer fee of 57 million euros, a mind-blowing amount of money for one player at the time. Neymar came at a high price. However, he was worth it for the Blaugrana. Neymar's arrival to Barcelona added the final piece to the legendary MSN attacking trio. He would form an almost telepathic understanding with Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez, and the three absolutely terrorized opponents throughout Spain and Europe. In the 2014-2015 season, the MSN trio would lead the team to an unforgettable treble win of La Liga, Copa del Rey, and the UEFA Champions League. After his 4-year stint at Barcelona, Neymar found the back of the net 105 times and provided 77 assists in 186 appearances. His incredible skills, dribbling, flair, and intelligence on the pitch made him pivotal in key matches, which cemented him as a fan favorite. In 2017, after seemingly winning it all at Barcelona and wanting to escape under the shadow of Lionel Messi, Neymar made a shock move to Paris Saint-Germain, who were looking to spend all of their state-backed Qataris owners' money to create a flashy yet formidable football giant in the French capital. Neymar was seen as a crucial part of this plan, and PSG would shell out a whopping 222 million euros to get their man. This move shattered the previous record of 105 million euros that Manchester United spent on Paul Pogba. To this day, this transfer record remains the highest fee of all time. So why PSG? Why leave the glamorous world of Barcelona to join a French club? Well, Neymar himself said it was about taking on a new challenge, to step out of Messi's shadow and lead his own team. And from day one, he did just that. In his debut season in Paris, Neymar made an immediate impact with 28 goals and 16 assists in just 30 appearances, securing the Coupe de France and Ligue 1 titles. However, as much as he dazzled domestically, the pressure was always on to deliver on the grand European stage. PSG's ultimate goal was the Champions League title, and it was Neymar's mission to bring the title to Paris. The 2017-2018 season was a bittersweet one for him and PSG. Neymar's injury in the knockout stages against Real Madrid halted his participation. PSG was eliminated in the round of 16, a major setback, but Neymar was determined to come back stronger. In the 2019-2020 season, Neymar would lead PSG to their best ever Champions League run. The team made it all the way to the final, and Neymar played a pivotal role in getting them there, with key performances against the likes of Atalanta and RB Leipzig. However, Bayern Munich proved too strong in the final, and PSG failed to bring the trophy and title back to Paris, losing 1-0. Despite the Champions League heartbreak, Neymar's domestic form remained top-notch. PSG dominated Ligue 1, winning 4 consecutive titles during his time. Neymar's chemistry with Kylian Mbappe and Edinson Cavani created one of Europe's most dangerous attacking trios. It wasn't just goals, it was a dazzling display of Brazilian flair combined with French speed and finishing. The world watched in awe as year after year PSG dominated their domestic opponents and filled their trophy cabinet. But it wasn't just all sunshine and trophies. Neymar's time in Paris hasn't been without controversies. In 2019, rumors surfaced that he wanted to return to Barcelona, sparking tension between him, the club, and PSG fans. His public desire to leave didn't sit well with many, but in the end, Neymar stayed at PSG, a decision that would shape the rest of his time at the club. There were injuries, always a part of Neymar's story. Whether it was knee injuries, ankle issues, or muscle strains, it seemed like injuries would constantly derail his momentum. A lot of injuries suspiciously seemed to align with Carnival and family members' birthdays. But that's conspiracy theory, and I won't get into that. After a turbulent period at a PSG where Neymar faced injuries, controversies, and setbacks in the team's pursuit of the UEFA Champions League, he ultimately decided to leave Paris. His relationship with the club had become strained, with PSG rebuilding its squad. Neymar's future in Paris became uncertain. In the summer of 2023, Neymar made the shock decision to move to Saudi Arabia, signing with Al Hilal, a powerhouse in the Saudi Pro League, the SPL. This move followed a trend of high-profile football stars making moves to the Middle East. Neymar's move to Saudi Arabia marked a larger trend of stars heading to the Saudi Pro League, such as the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo at Al Nassr and Karim Benzema at Al Ittihad. The league works to enhance its competitiveness and global presence. His presence has sparked increased interest in Saudi football, with the aim of improving the level of play and making the SPL one of the top leagues in Asia and beyond. Al Hilal has long been one of the most successful clubs in the Saudi Pro League, with numerous Saudi League titles, AFC Champions League victories, and a global reputation. The club's ambition to elevate its international stature and create a competitive team led them to secure Neymar's signature, hoping to take the league to greater heights. However, Al Hilal, putting all their eggs in one basket, hoping that Neymar would take them to further titles, did not go as planned. Due to a serious knee injury, Neymar would only manage 7 appearances, never playing a full 90 minutes. His spell at Al Hilal seemed to be the end of his career, and Al Hilal terminated his contract in 2025. However, in a full circle moment, Neymar returned to Santos Football Club in January of 2025. This marks a significant chapter in his career, one that is deeply rooted in his past and full of new possibilities. After years of dazzling the world with his skill, passion, and success across Europe, Neymar is returning to the club that nurtured his talent and set the stage for his rise to international stardom. Santos is where Neymar first learned the art of football, where he was given the freedom to express his flair, and where his extraordinary potential was recognized. It was here that his foundation was built, a foundation that would carry him through one of the most successful careers in modern football. This return represents more than just a comeback of a player. It signifies a reconnection with his roots and the foundation that helped shape him into the football icon we know today. Neymar's presence in Santos is a beacon of hope for the next generation of Brazilian talent, a reminder that greatness can emerge from humble beginnings. It is a poignant reminder of the club's legacy, a legacy that continues to inspire players around the world. I'm not entirely certain if poignant is the right word. It's because it's not sad to see him come back, but it's really, really impressive that teams in Brazil right now are able to call back and have their stars that went on to play in Europe to have them come back to Brazil and perform as they did in Europe. That's something that we're seeing right now. Thiago Silva at Fluminense. We're seeing São Paulo has Lucas that played for Tottenham, that got them to a Champions League final with his hat trick against Ajax. They've got Oscar, who shined at Chelsea, but ultimately decided to go to China to make a whole lot of money. But and Corinthians got in Memphis Depay. He didn't start his career there because he's Dutch, but and Martin Braithwaite, who played in Spain. He's a Denmark international. He's playing at Grêmio in the south of Brazil. It's just amazing that these clubs in Brazil are able to get in this talent. And I think that that's showing the direction that Brazilian football is going, from not just being a feeder league to the great European leagues, but to really be a star league in and of itself. For Neymar, his return to Santos is a moment of reflection, a chance to return to the passion and love for the game that initially propelled him to greatness. It's an opportunity to give back to the club that gave him the platform to shine, while also inspiring the next wave of Brazilian football stars. His legacy at Santos is timeless, and no matter where his journey takes him next, the club will always be part of his identity. And that's really true, because Neymar represents what every Brazilian star wants to be. Neymar, Pelé, these great stars that have come out of Santos specifically have shown kids in Brazil that if I dedicate myself and I take my talent for the sport, if I take it seriously, which Neymar hasn't always taken his talent seriously, but if I take my talent seriously and I dedicate myself, I can become one of the greats. And I think that's what makes Brazil special. Is Brazil is a place where football is not just a sport, but it's a passion. It's almost like religion here in Brazil. It's if they take it seriously, they can take things to the moon. But in the grand narrative of Neymar's career, Santos Futebol Club will always be the starting point, the place where his story began, and the club that will forever hold a special place in his heart. His return to Santos is not just about nostalgia. It's a celebration of football, of history, and of the beautiful game's ability to create lasting legacies. For Neymar and for Santos, this is more than just a return. It's a reunion of past, present, and future. It's a testament to how football can bridge time, culture, and dreams, uniting people across the globe and inspiring generations to come. And his start at Santos, his restart at Santos hasn't started off great. He came on against Botafogo de São Paulo, de Ribeirão Preto, actually. And the first pass to him hit him square in the nuts, which was funny. But he came on to a lot of cheering from Santos fans, and I think that really shows what he means to the club. He also played against Novo Horizontino. He made some good passes, but he didn't do much. He is starting out. It's a new club. He hasn't played in a while, so that's okay. And then he was started against Corinthians. He did a really sick chip over Rodrigo Garo, who is one of Corinthians' best players. You would expect Garo to be able to take the ball from him, but it's Neymar, so he dribbled the crap out of it. But they lost 2-1 to Corinthians with an assist from Memphis Depay to Yuri Alberto. But it means a lot to Brazilian fans to have Neymar back, except for Corinthians fans that booed him. But that's rivalry. That's what you're going to get. But it means a lot to Brazil, and hopefully he plays really well at Santos, and hopefully he gets into form so that he can perform for Brazil at next year's World Cup. And this has just been a quick dive into Neymar's career and what it means to him being back at Santos. It's really exciting to have one of the world's greatest stars back in Brazil at an age that he can actually still perform. He's only 32, so he still has several years to play, and hopefully he does. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. I'm not a big Neymar fan. I think that I'm not a huge Neymar fan because I think that he hasn't taken his talent seriously enough. I think that if he was an actual strong leader, natural leader, and put real effort into his ball, I think that he would have led Brazil to even greater heights. Like, Brazil's last international title was the 2019 Copa America, and Neymar wasn't even there because he was injured. So I think Brazil, could do better without him if he isn't going to take things seriously. But if he does take things seriously, I think that Brazil could go to even greater heights. In Brazil, they always, at every single cup, any World Cup, they say "O Hexa vem essa vez," which means the sixth one comes this time. And I think that that's what Brazilian football fans really expect out of Neymar. I think that Neymar's also had a lot of pressure put on him by Brazilian fans, just because he is Brazil's top scorer of all time in a country that had Pelé, who was a 3-time World Cup champion and scored over 1,000 goals in his career. To have scored more international goals for Brazil than Pelé, I think that's crazy. But I think that he's had a lot of pressure put on him from Brazilian fans, and maybe he wasn't ever meant to. That's a truck outside. Maybe he wasn't ever meant to take Brazil to those heights. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on. Thank you so much for listening today. This has been Football Country, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.